So I'm sure by now that almost everybody has heard about Dr. Fauci, who lied basically about everything. I mean, let's be real. He lied about the mask. He lied about the 6-foot social distancing. He lied about the vaccines. And he lied about the lockdowns. Well, let me show you.
Well, I didn't recommend locking anything down. And the record will show, Neil, that we didn't recommend shutting everything down. I recommended to the president that we shut the country down. And that was a very difficult decision because I knew it would have serious economic consequences, which it did.
He lied about the lab leak. He lied about your natural immunity. He lied about the vaccine side effects. Everything he said was a lie. It was literally a compliance experiment. So, did you comply?
Where Fauci says that making people's lives difficult will encourage them to get vaccinated. Just watch.
Once people feel empowered and protected legally, you are going to have schools, universities, and colleges are going to say, you want to come to this college, buddy? You're going to get vaccinated. Lady, you're going to get vaccinated. Big corporations like Amazon and Facebook and all of those others are going to say, you want to work for us, you get vaccinated. And it's been proven that when you make it difficult for people in their lives, they lose their ideological and they get vaccinated.
Are all objections to COVID vaccinations ideological, Dr. Fauci?
No, they're not, and that's not what I was referring to.
Well, in reference to making it hard for people to get education, traveling, working, I'd say it very much was.
You might be wondering, why would he do this? Like, what would he have to gain? Well, here you go. Fauci and his wife netted $2 million during the COVID pandemic. Records show and are now worth $11 million. Gee. They ended people's businesses and livelihoods over a vaccine that didn't even stop transmission. And they did this while they called the rest of us conspiracy theorists because we said, whoa, something's not right. Which brings me back to my last and final point. The compliance test. Okay, so there was this little thing called the Milgram's experiment. And Milgram's other well-known experiment, See Small World experiment, obedience to authority. Beginning on August 7th, 1961, a series of social psychology experiments were conducted by Yale psychologist Stanley Milgram, who intended to measure the willingness of study participants to obey an authority figure who instructed them to perform acts conflicting with their personal conscience. Participants were led to believe that they were assisting an unrelated experiment in which they had to administer electric shocks to a learner.
All a simulation, nothing was really happening. But the learner made very convincing sounds of pain as the shocks increased.
This will be at 3:30.
And Milgram found, surprisingly and rather horrifyingly, that the majority of people would actually go right to the very highest level if there was some pressure from a man in a white coat who said things like,
"It's absolutely essential that you continue. Continue, please.
Let me out of here. My eyes bother me.
Go on."
And here's like a diagram so you can kind of give an idea of what it was. It says the experimenter ordered the teacher, the subject of the experiment, to give the teacher what the teacher believes are painful electric shocks to a learner, who is actually an actor. So the subject is led to believe that for each wrong answer, the learner was receiving actual electric shocks, though in reality there was no such punishments. Being separated from the subject, the Confederates set up a tape recorder and integrated with the electric shock generator, which played pre-recorded sounds for each shock level. There were shocks that were administered that were lethal. And they did it because an authority figure told them to do it. Even though they knew their conscience was saying, you probably shouldn't do that, they did it anyway.
My eyes bother me.
Go on. 195 volts.
Oh,
The correct one.
let me out of here.
Slow.
Let
Dance.
me out of here. My eyes bother me. Let me out of here. You have no right to keep me here. Let me out. Let me out of here. Let me out.
Continue, please.
Let me out of here.